How would you like to sell your practice for more and keep more rather than paying a broker 10% of everything your practice is worth? And that could be quite a bit. If you're selling it for 1.5 or $2 million, 10% of that, $150,000, $200,000, and you just met this person. You've been working in this practice for the past 20 years and built it up, the equity in there, and now you're going to give somebody 10% just to put it on the market and sell it for you. I have a better way. I'm telling you, bring your practice up and you keep the money and put that 10% in your pocket. There's easy ways of doing it. Rather than giving it to someone else who you just met, they're going to come in and evaluate the age of your equipment and so forth, look at your profit and loss and just run something. But if you met a man that could tell you how to raise your EBITDA or your profits, your P&L over the past 3 years, because it's going to take that long. Anybody that's trying to sell, whether it's another dentist or you're selling to an investor, everyone's going to want to look at your last 3 years of performance. Now, if your trajectory of those 3 years is downward trending, then you're losing, and and the practice is going to be worse, especially if you're getting older and the equipment is getting older, you're slowing down, the practice is slowing down, and now you're trying to sell it because you don't have a plan. You have to go out and bring somebody in, and they're going to just run some numbers and then take 10% of it. Why wouldn't you, like anybody that's trying to sell, you want to get those numbers up? But you would say, Dr. Lanier, this is a time I'm tired. I'm doing 2.5, 3 days a week. I don't want to do any more time. Well, why don't you bring somebody else in and let them help you get it up? Let's do some marketing and so forth. But that's the thing. You don't want to do, a lot of people are afraid to give up some of it. I want 100% of it. You see, I'm trying to hold on to everything I have. And then if the practice is built around you, you need to start changing some things. So we want to put in systems so that the practice is not person dependent on you, because if you want to get out, you're not going to be there anyway. So you have to make yourself obsolete. So there's a thing called self-obsolescence. You got to get yourself out of the way so that now the practice is working and making money without you. And that's what investors, if somebody is coming in like me, and if I'm buying a practice, I don't work, I haven't done dentistry in 15 years. My left hand, I'm left-handed. I have arthritis in my left hand. I can barely open it. So why would I want to buy practice from you if I have to get in there and work? I want somebody already there. I want the a hygienist. I want everything, and I want it systematic so that it's working. Plus, I want to see it upward trending. I don't want to see it downward trending. So this is the thing. If you have a plan, and luckily, Dr. Lanier wrote a book called How to Exit Your Dental Business Rich. That's why I always ask people, do you have an exit strategy? And it's rare. Almost never will someone raise a hand and say, yes, I have an exit strategy. But you have to have one if you want to exit. And the liquidity event, the sale of your practice, is the most impactful economic event that you will have in your career. Because when you sell your practice, that's the largest amount of money you're going to get. But you don't have a plan. You don't have a strategy. You don't have an idea of how to exit. And that's the reason you go and pay somebody 10%. And they don't know how to get your practice up. The only thing they know is plug in some numbers and come up with something. And then your equipment, goodwill, so forth. And they come up with an abstract number that they think someone will buy it for. But if you have a plan, and you start and you bring someone in, you do some marketing and you get it up. Anyway, here's the thing. Gonna be in Vegas on May 1st. And if you want to sell, rather than giving someone $150,000, you spend $690, I think it is. Go to EntrepreneurDentist.com and see me in Vegas. And we have not only myself, but a lot of people that know how to structure. And it's only entrepreneur-minded people that's going to be there talking about things like the exit strategy. And also my new book called Financial Literacy for Dentists. You got to learn to speak the language, and you have to have a little bit, but you have to invest a little bit in order to get something out. If you're trending downward and then you're holding on to everything and it's going down and now you're trying to sell, you're not going to get very much out of it. Why don't you put something in? And the first thing comes is putting your mind into it and figuring out a strategy. Let me help you with that. That's the reason. I wrote a book about it, and I wrote another book, Financial Literacy. That'll probably be my last book I write. I don't, it's very stressful trying to write books. But I tell you, I put something in there, and if you want to learn to play the game, you got to know the rules. It's like if I'm watching cricket. I don't know what the hell they're doing out there. And people get all excited, but I don't know a damn thing about cricket. So I can watch. I'm damn near the same with soccer. I watch, but I don't really know the game that well. So it's not that much fun to me when I'm watching. But this thing is fun. Once you learn this game, and it's a money game, and you learn it, now you can make a lot of money just by understanding the game. And that's why the financial literacy is where you have to start. But if you're going to exit, you got to understand that the exit is also a set game. We've learned, see, listen, we've been conditioned over time. We've been conditioned since we were kids to be a good employee, be a student, be a good student, and you learn to memorize things and so forth. But a lot of people don't want to go through very much experience. And then you get out and you limit the upside by being afraid because you don't learn the game. You don't know how to play the game. But it is a game. Well, once you take it too serious, now you can't really play the game. But if you see it as a game, the money game, and how it works and how the tax system is set up and how people get wealthy and why you get wealthy and why real estate and why dental real estate is such a beautiful thing, and that triple net lease and why I'm telling you, there's a lot of things that you can learn. I want you to come to Vegas on May Day. I want to see you there because you need to invest in yourself. You need to invest in yourself first, and then you can start to and meet with some of the people that can do the marketing, that can help you understand how to market your practice, how to set up the things to bring in the doctors and get yourself out of the way. Listen, and this is a fact. I haven't practiced dentistry in about 15 years. I sold, liquidated my company and kicked back for a few years. And then about 5 years ago, I started over again. And from de novo offices, I have 5 new ones, and I have 3 that I'm in escrow on, practice de novo buildings, because marketing and having other people work, I don't go to work, so I'm making money. And I laugh sometimes when I see these doctors that are on YouTube and they're saying, well, I made $1 million, blah, 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 or $2 million last year. I only worked 1 or 2 days a week. Yes, they could do that. But I bet you they have a group practice where somebody else is in there working while they're on the beach, and they have hygienists and so forth. Anybody could do that if you have other people working for you. But if you're the one that is doing it all, and you have built a practice around you, now you can't extricate yourself because, and especially, let's say it's affiliated with your group. I don't know. Let's just use something. Let's say a religious thing, whereas you're a Jehovah's Witness or Seventh-day Adventist, and most of your patients are, they're friends. You go to your church or whatever with them, and you worship together. That's fine. But the guy that's coming along, you will want, if someone is going to buy it, you want to find a dentist that is in the similar kind of thing and bring them in. Let them start when they're young and help build this practice. And so that now it's built around them as well, and you can extricate yourself. But somebody else coming in from the outside, if they're from Muslim religion, they really can't relate, and they may not be able to do that. So you have to build a practice where it's built on systems and not necessarily all of your relations. And there's a song, it's like, it's all about you. And I think it's Snoop Dogg and Tupac. It's all about you. And we start to believe that. We're conditioned to think that it's all about you, but it's not. It's all about the systems that you build so that you can sell the systems, because nobody really wants to buy you, especially if you say you're tired and you're getting old and you really don't want to work. Now, what are you trying to sell? And when they come to look at it and start talking to you, you're like, oh, yes, it's all about me. I did this and I did that, but I'm falling off, and the leaves are falling off the tree and I'm ready to get out. So the guy or whomever that's buying, they're going to say, well, damn, it looks like I'm not. I'm buying something that's dying. So what you really want, because anybody that's purchasing, what they're purchasing is an income stream. That's really what they want. They want a passive income stream so that they don't have, say for instance, someone that has a lot of money, they don't want to come in and do a lot of hard work. They want somebody else in a system that works so they don't have to. So you have to build that, and you do that over the 3-year period leading up to the time that you want to exit. And you may even stay another year or so to help out, but you got to bring somebody in. And then you don't have to give somebody 10% of whatever it is you're doing because you sold it yourself. And if any brokers out there listening and so forth, I'm not hating, please. I'm just telling the truth. I know I'm not going to give you my money like that, because what I'm going to do is something smart. And I want you guys that's listening, get smart. Come to Vegas. I'm telling you, it's not like I'm trying to pat myself on the back, but hell, I've been doing this for the last 30 years. I know a lot about what I'm talking about because this is what I study, and I'm pretty good at it. I can show you how to do it. And not only that, we're going to be in the room with some very smart entrepreneurial kind of people. And you want to get those, birds of a feather flock together. You can hang out with some losers and so forth, but if you want to be in that winner circle, you got to be in with the people who are going in that same direction. And if you, rather than giving somebody $150,000, I would spend the $695. Get to Vegas, get your ass over there, and let's win. All right. I look forward to seeing you in Vegas. Go to EntrepreneurDentist.com, and just sign up. Sign up. I'll see you in Vegas, and let me help you when you get ready to transition out. And if you're just getting into dentistry, you gotta, if you want to get out right, you got to go in right. Because like they say, garbage in, garbage out. You got to set the program from get-go, and look for how to build assets and appreciation and so forth. I'll talk about that in the next video. But thank you for listening.